Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing well. My name is Balor, and today guys, we shall be breaking down everything that is to come to Wuthering Waves 3.6. To be honest with you, this live stream kind of cooked, not gonna lie. Games kind of cooked. Obviously we'll go through everything that this live stream has to offer within Wuthering Waves 3.6, which drops 2 weeks from now. So let us jump right into it. But first of all, I gotta say, Games, they kind of cooked with this trailer. Not gonna lie. They kind of cooked with this trailer, man. As soon as I saw Rover on a flying sword, I kind of knew that Wuthering Waves were about to cook. Not gonna lie. Like, to look at this, so obviously it gives it away. So first addition to the game, first addition to Wuthering Waves is basically a new way of exploration and transportation. So basically you don't really need to use your bike anymore, which in all honesty, I'm kind of glad, because the bike was kind of scuffed, not gonna lie. Even the flight mode, wasn't really a fan of it, especially in Mingzhou. Like, come on, the entire map is like, you need to fly, because there's so many different there's so many different points of so many viewpoints and everything was, you know, up. It's a very mountainous region, let's just say that. So basically you definitely need a better way. Like, to be honest with you, using the bike here, yeah, you're kind of cooked, not gonna lie. So basically using using this new way of transportation, the flight mode with your sword, is pretty darn cool. They kind of cooked, not gonna lie, with this trailer. But what we shall do here, guys, first of all, is we shall I gotta say, this is really cool. First of all, look at this, bro. Look at this. It's basically Star Wars, man. Empire Strikes Back. Look, this is the Empire, man. Oh my god, this is really cool. But obviously, first of all, guys, we are getting not one, but we are getting 2 main quests within the 3.6 update. But there isn't an epilogue quest from what I could tell. But overall, pretty happy. So we'll have a main quest with Qingxiao, and then we will have a main quest with Jingran. And obviously after completing these certain quests, you will unlock motorbike liveries, which are pretty cool. You will unlock not 1 but 2 liveries, which is pretty cool. So we'll have 2 main quests. Obviously, look at this for my fellow Wuthering Waves stands who have been playing the game since the beginning. I haven't, but obviously I know Yinlin. You can see this character right here, and this character right here is Xiaoming, who will be releasing, I assume, in version 3.7, from what the leaks have told us. Obviously, we'll get Xiaoming, and we will also have Xin as well, the Sentinel Resonator. As you can see here, guys, from this demo, you get to fly on a sword. How cool is this, guys? How cool is this? This is so cool. And the way you take off, insane. Look at this, man. I gotta say, man. You gotta have a beefy graphics card. You gotta have like beefy RAM, all that stuff, because being able to explore these new regions is pretty cool. But hopefully, fingers crossed, the optimization will be better within the 3.6 update. Obviously, we have a new game mode, which is pretty cool. So you get to play a new instrument, which is called a guqin. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Probably butchered it, but anyhow, you can play any tune you wish, which is kind of cool because I'm kind of curious on what the Wuthering Waves community will come up with. Obviously, with all of these keys, I assume you can play any kind of tune you wish, any kind of song. You might even see Metallica on this thing, not gonna lie. Metallica might bang on this, no cap. But obviously we get some story stuff with Rover and Qingxiao. She looks so good, man. She looks amazing. New area as well, which is pretty cool, as you can see. Pretty cool. I thought this was like the world tree, like Yggdrasil, or like I thought it was a tree at first, but I have no idea what is going on in there. Not gonna lie, something crazy, man. And obviously we have Star Wars stuff, as you can see, like Star Wars stuff. You see the ships as well, Star Destroyers going in, and obviously when I see the storm, I was like, brother, this is like episode 9 of Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker. Obviously people do not watch that film because it sucks major butt, but it does remind me of that, not gonna lie. It does remind me of that. And obviously we have new enemies as well, just regular enemies. This guy looks really cool. He's called the Calamity Effigy, and my god, his moveset is kind of cool. Look at his moveset, man. Wow, insane. Absolutely insane. He looks really cool. He looks like a Souls boss for sure. I could see him being like a hologram in the future, maybe, because he does have that sort of aura to him, if you know what I mean. And obviously we have some information with regards to Qingxiao, of course. We did see her in a cutscene. We did see her in a cutscene within the 3.5 update story quest. And to be honest with you, she kind of cooked. Not gonna lie, she kind of cooked. And obviously we have her, how should I say, her residence convene here, which I will play for you guys here. Like, how cool is she? Wow. The aura she has here, I am sorry. She looks absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Wow, insane. So she will be an arrow main DPS. She will be an arrow main DPS, a sword user, of course, and she has she has a tune strain implemented into her kit. Obviously, you can see her here on the new sword transportation here, the new sword flight mode, and which is something really cool. She could do this. She could do that. She can give herself a boost. Insane, not gonna lie, insane. Like, to look, like, these animations are insane. So she will be an arrow. Her attribute is arrow. She will be a sword user, and she uses interesting, so skill upgrades for her weapons. She uses Weehu questions, so yeah, you might want to farm Denya weeklies for that. Forged Empyrean Sai, which will be a new boss, I assume. Blade Blossom, I don't recall ever picking up that flower, but it might be on the map somewhere. And the rest of the stuff is bog standard, of course. As you can see, her combat showcase is kind of ridiculous. You know, it really reminds me of like a Kartatia. You know, when Kartatia first dropped in version 2.4, I believe. Yeah, kind of crazy, not gonna lie, kind of crazy. And you can see her flying the sword on her sword, insane. And she has two modes, I believe. Qingxiao, so like you want to build up her forte, and another kind of how should I say, another basically she might have two fortes, I'm not quite sure. But she is kind of ridiculous. So of course she applies Toon Strain. So basically she might be a better alternative to Luke Herson if you do not have Luke Herson. If you want to delve right into the Toon Strain mechanic, obviously we have Toon Strain already with Luke, we have Toon Rupture with Amit, but now we have Toon Strain once again with Qingxiao, which is pretty cool. This is her weapon, Sword Glint of Clouds, which looks very pretty. Obviously we will have to look at the stats when it comes to this weapon, of course. Basically nearly every standard 6-star or how should I say 5-star sword is basically crit rate. So its main stat will be crit rate, high attack of course, and crit rate of course. Next we have a showcase here for Jingran, and Jingran, not gonna lie, does look pretty cool. He does look pretty cool. Obviously he has his lamp here, which has some sort of ghost flame, and every time he wants to use it, I believe they mentioned that they take away a certain portion of his lifespan, I believe, just to use this because of how powerful the ghost flame is. So it kind of reminds me of like maybe like a devil from Chainsaw Man. You know, when you use some devils in Chainsaw Man, obviously they take away some of your lifespan to keep using it. Does look really cool. Jingran, of course, he is a fusion broad blade user who scales off of HP, which is very interesting because the only HP scaler we have in the game thus far is Kartatia, and she was released during version 2.4, which was a long time ago, not gonna lie. So having a HP scaler main DPS is very cool, and obviously his animations are really cool. So he has basically two forms. He has his regular form, and then he has his ghost flame form where he goes Super Saiyan, and he has a Lynx kind of pet, kind of similar to very similar to Galbrena, if you recall, guys. You know, Galbrena has her other kind of, is that a lynx or like a lion, if I do recall. So obviously he's a fusion main DPS with broad blade, and of course new bosses, well forged Empyrean Sai, Cloud Perch Seed. You can definitely farm for those, I know 100%. Skyward Glaze Heart is a weekly boss from from the previous version 3.5. That boss from Yang Yang's quest, so you could definitely farm for that for sure. His combat looks very cool. So he has his regular form, and then he has his ghost flame form with his Lynx going Super Saiyan. And then to be honest with you, his ultimate, his Resonance Liberation, is very cool. So basically what he does like a domain expansion. He does a domain expansion. Like, to look at that is so cool. Very seldom to Sukuna from Jujutsu Kaisen. Very cool. His weapon, I think, is crazy cool. His weapon is so cool. Like, look at that. You know what this reminds me of, guys? You can obviously let me know in the comments as well. This reminds me of new game releasing this year, Onimusha. You know, with the eye in the sword. And obviously, look at it. There's like a ghost hand grabbing the sword. His broadblade looks very cool, and it's like basically in a sheet here. So basically, you know that this weapon has been through a lot. Blade glowing with light, tells a story. Ancient saber, a duality of yin and yang, copper coins and jade cloth wrapping slender in form. It does look kind of cool, man. It does very cool. And then when you go into ghost flame form, obviously the ghost hand grabs the weapon, and then it emits a ghost flame aura. That is very, 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 very cool. But that is it when it comes to the new resonators. Next, I believe they go through all of the convenes, of course. So we have Qingxiao, of course, and a great addition, Denya. So basically, you definitely need Denya to play Qingxiao, because Denya applies and boosts Tune Strain in her Tune Strain mode. So definitely Denya will be Qingxiao's best in slot. And obviously you get their weapons, of course. Next we have Jingran, of course, and we're getting a rerun of Hiyuki. And to be honest with you, it's a great time to play Wuthering Waves now, because Hiyuki has dropped, and Hiyuki is by far the best character in the game. But you do need teammates for her, unfortunately. But she's still OP as it is, man. Definitely pull her if you do not have her already. Mornier is a great addition as well. She could be. Well, I'm kind of curious. She might. Yeah, you'll definitely need Mornier in your Qingxiao. So it'll be Mornier, Denya, and Qingxiao. I believe that will be the best. One of the best teams in the game. Mornier is a great addition. If you do not have Mornier, definitely pick her up, because she's a great buffer and healer, of course. So we have new events, a new combat event, which does look very interesting. Definitely better than the event we have running currently in version 3.5, which is another Lament kind of game mode, which is like over the head kind of, you know, combat event where you don't really press any buttons. It just attacks automatically. There's a bit more intuition into this, and obviously in this combat event as well, you cannot use resonators, but as Rover you can use their abilities. So as Rover here, as you can see, you can use Augusta's moveset, which is actually very, very cool. And obviously here we have Rover once again, and you could see Frolova here. So basically you're using Frolova's moveset, which is very cool. Another leisure event, of course, where you after the main quest you can learn how to play the Qing from Qingxiao, which is very cool. So another nice addition, a new leisure event, Second Coming of Solaris. So I believe they mentioned the last time we had a quest similar to this was in version 2.6, which was a long time ago. So kind of a cool event here, where like you can change certain aspects, where you can take photos. Pretty cool. More Astrite the better, guys. And another exploration event with the Fog Veil Pagoda, which is nice. We have co-op combat event. Now, it's been a while since we've seen a good co-op in Wuthering Waves. And this will definitely bring people back to the game for sure, when it comes to co-op. So you can tackle bosses with your co-op friend, which is pretty cool. New tactical hologram, of course. We have the Rustfire Chases, and on its own the Chases is pretty busted, so I can imagine him in the higher difficulties for sure. 10 pulls, 10 login pulls, so 5 standard, 5 premium, of course. Pretty solid, pretty solid. New accessories for Qingxiao and Jingran in the shop, so if you want them, you can definitely purchase them, of course. Stuff to do, stuff with the expedition motorbike. To be honest with you, I doubt people really care about this stuff, because people will be using the sword for their flights. And another addition where you could take screenshots in game of like stuff that you couldn't have done before, because usually if you have a, you know, if you pull, let's say for example Dinya's weapon here, you'd have to, like, you know, Windows key Shift and S, you know, to take a screenshot of whatever you pulled or whatever. But you could do the screenshot in game and it will save to your system, which is pretty cool, which is pretty nice. And obviously you could do it in Wuthering Waves, in State Matrix, and the Tower of Adversity. Stuff to do with the mailbox. People don't really care about the mailbox, to be honest with you. New optimization as well to your echo sets, so basically you could see which echo set is preferred to your resonator. So obviously Rover here, Rover's best set is the pilgrimage, I believe. Do forgive me if I got that wrong. So this is basically his best Sonata set for his Aero archetype, which is pretty cool. And next, performance is a huge one, because Wuthering Waves have had pretty spooky performance issues, to be honest with you, within since 3.0, if I were to say, especially with Lahairoi and the new region in Mengzhou. So you can see a side-by-side comparison. So we see iOS on the top and we see iOS after, so before and after, and you can see, of course, a boost in FPS here, as you can see. And just to let you know, guys, as well, it's not just iOS. It will apply to both iOS, PC, and console. So you can see Lahairoi. Lahairoi is like by far one of the most laggiest spots in the Wuthering Waves game itself. So a boost in FPS in Lahairoi is much appreciated. And of course, this is a new addition as well to all of my PC gamers who play Wuthering Waves. You can now play Wuthering Waves on DLSS 4.5, which is very cool. So a boost in frames, boost in graphics, so you're cooking on that department. But you might have to have a pretty crazy graphics card and such. And another thing, Linnea figure. I'm kind of cooked, not gonna lie, because I have a Shorekeeper right here, and I have more Wuthering Wave figures on the way, pre-ordered. Not gonna lie, I have like Changli, I have Phoebe, Yinlin, Camellia. Next year, then I have like Augusta and Jinxie, a Linnea one here, and then we in the past as well, there was a Cartatia announced, and there was like I did see who else was announced. Mornier was announced as well. Yeah, we're pretty cooked, not gonna lie. So I'm looking forward to that, man. These Wuthering Wave figures are very cool. But other than that, guys, that is basically the lowdown to the Wuthering Waves 3.6 live stream. Obviously, of course, if you guys have any questions, be sure to drop them down in the comment section down below, and I can help you to the best of my ability. And overall, a pretty decent patch. I would say a pretty decent patch. They're probably saving up for the bigger patches, of course, in the future, especially with Sin and Xiaomeng dropping in later patches, and maybe the new Federation stuff we might expect in like 4.0 maybe. But overall, a decent update. Hopefully it does wonders. Of course, hopefully it does wonders. I'm very looking forward to checking out Qingxiao as well when she drops in 2 weeks time. But other than that, guys, hope you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe if you're new. Subscribe, because I'll be dropping a lot more Wuthering Waves content here on the channel in the future. But nevertheless, stay blessed. I catch you guys in the next one. Take care, everyone.